Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of In the Vault with Ali and Shane. How are you, my co-host Ali?
Oh, living the dream, as they say. I'm
Yeah.
obsessed.
With what? With what? What are you obsessed with?
I'm just obsessed with my life at the moment.
Oh, I love
Everything's going
that.
so well.
The antonym to what you told me about 5 minutes ago, but...
Yeah. I'm trying to keep it positive. But you know what? I've been in my gardening era, Shane.
Yeah.
You know how a couple of weeks ago I was telling you I was trying to find a hobby?
Mm-hmm.
Consider it found.
She got a hobby.
I got a hobby and
Yeah.
it's gardening. And so I follow this really amazing Instagram. I can't remember the name of it, so I'll put it in the show notes. But essentially, if you're a beginner gardener, they tell you what to plant depending on what part of Australia you're in. So at the moment, let me just get
Show
my
us. Give us
Let me get
give us
my-
the good stall.
Look what's already come to say hello, you guys.
They're so cute.
They're so cute. So I'm doing rocket, and these ones are carrots.
Yeah.
And I'm doing like a carrot medley. Do you know there's this trend going around? People are drinking lots of carrot juice or eating lots of carrots so they go, well, orange, quite frankly, but to boost their tan.
Yes, I've seen this has been a trend on and off for a really long time. There was that girl that went viral a couple of years ago, and I can't remember her name right now, but she went viral because she was literally orange.
Enough with the carrots, doll.
Yeah, doll, put the carrot juice down.
She'd be able to see in the dark though.
Those carotenoids would be popping, you know?
Yeah, night vision goggles. Anyway, what's been going on with you, babe?
I feel like it's been our first 5-day week in about 3 weeks. So I'm feeling drained. I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed. I have a big launch coming up in 3 weeks. So there's just been a lot going on.
Oh, yeah. Is that why you were asking if I was available in May?
For sure, doll, because would love to have you, but I know you're a busy girl, you know? She's like, I'll check my avails and circle back.
I do not miss event planning.
Yeah.
I just don't miss it.
It's all encompassing, and people are like, oh, why are you stressed about that? And I'm like, I can name a million reasons why I'm stressed about that. They're little things, little chasms that can cause a really big rift. You get a few things wrong. So like, you really do need to be on top of it.
1,000%. And influencers can be a little bit demanding, not gonna lie, especially in that influencer event space.
Yes.
They go to so many events.
That's
So you
right.
do need to make it good.
So-
Sometimes you go to events and you're just like, what is this even for? Why
Yeah.
are we here?
I like to think I have a pretty good gauge of what works and what doesn't.
Definitely.
But I guess we'll see.
Watch this space. I have been loving the Isamaya color corrector.
Oh.
It's amazing. Did a video on it. It is so good at hiding your redness. It has Braille on the packaging.
Oh, that's great.
Well, you think it's
Okay.
great, right? But then the process to open and put together this product, you have to put the product together, right?
Okay, it's giving Lego.
It's giving harder than Lego. Lego
Okay.
15 plus. Your
Okay.
motor skills to put this thing together is crazy. So I'm like, okay, what do we think about performative packaging with Braille on it? If you're going to do Braille, that's amazing. But you got to go the
Yeah.
whole hog. You can't
Yeah.
just then give me this Tetris that I now need to put
Yeah.
together.
Oh, that's intense. And also, I don't want to work that hard. How much was this color corrector?
So it's a $70 serum.
Oh, wow. Oh, it's a serum.
It's a color correcting serum, which can I say a lot of color
Okay.
correctors, they're very thick. I think it's a fantastic product, but it's one of those things where the packaging, they've just gotten a little too technical with it. And it comes with a few different colors. It comes in lilac, green, orange, and then a dark brown. Perfect for any sort of issues with melasma and pigmentation.
Dark circles and stuff like that.
Yeah, amazing. What are you loving, doll?
I'm loving. I realized I've been using it wrong when I did the research. But I've been using the Kerastase, the Gloss Absolute Frizz Glaze Cream.
Oh, cream.
So I got the cream and the oil, and I've been
Yeah.
loving both. But I'm going to call out the cream particularly because it's a styling cream and it's for thick, frizz-prone hair, which is both of us, doll. It's kind of a hybrid between a styling product and a treatment aimed at creating a glaze high shine finish. Claims to be up to 4 days frizz control, even in high humidity. So waterproof effect in up to 98% humid conditions, which I think is
Wow.
crazy.
Kerastase is
and being
amazing.
From both Sydney and Brizzy, it gets in the 90s.
Yeah, we're in a subtropical climate.
Yeah, we are. Subtropical. This is what I've been doing wrong. I didn't realize you need to blow dry your hair to activate it, and I never blow dry my hair. So I think it'll be really good for you, doll. I've got it in today. I like it even without it being blow dried. It is just a nice general styler. Like gives my curls a good bounce and the oil smooths things enough.
Kerastase really comes through with amazing products. Their
They do.
hair oil, unbelievable. Their 8-hour serum to die for. And their Thermique, Kerastase Thermique cream. Actually, Lisa Barlow got me onto that one. No high body count hair here.
I'm questioning that. That's up for debate.
I also agree.
Should we launch into our first topic for the day?
Let's do it.
Let's talk about the Kardashians. Their X-Files is what I've called it. So
Can I just say, they have been low key lately for the last couple of years.
all the girls.
No one's really given a about them. I'm going to be so honest.
Or do you mean the exes?
No, I mean the Kardashians. I feel like people aren't talking about them as much.
I disagree, doll. I think it's definitely quieting down to an extent. I think we're definitely more a Kendall and Kylie centered society now. But we have two men, Ye, which did you know that Kanye West is now just known legally as Ye?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
How long has this been a thing?
I think a couple of years. It's since 2021.
Oh.
Talk about
I'm
out of the loop.
Wireless Music Festival, which is one of London's largest rap and hip hop festivals, hosted annually by Live Nation, has been cancelled after the artist, Ye, was banned from entering the UK by the UK government amid a deepening political row over his previous anti-Semitic statements. The official statement on the Wireless Festival website reads, as a result of the Home Office denying Ye entry into the United Kingdom, Wireless Festival was cancelled. All ticket holders will receive an automatic full refund. If you already purchased a ticket, there's nothing further you need to do. Refunds will be processed automatically and returned to your original payment method. For further information, please visit Ticketmaster help page. Like, what more can you say? But it's very generic.
I think it's very straightforward, and when you're refunding tickets to people, you need to be straightforward so people don't get confused.
Totally.
But what I don't get, though, is when you create such a large scale event like this, you do something called a risk assessment. In a risk assessment, you pretty much look at everything that could possibly go wrong. And when I looked at Wireless, I was like, okay, what could the possible risks be? Okay, number one, the artist risk. Kanye West is incredibly controversial, especially with his anti-Semitic conversations. Yeah. Two is the single point of failure is they built the entire festival around Kanye. He was the only headliner, which is quite crazy to do, or not have a backup. If you're a festival, usually you like to have at least two headliners.
For sure. You would have a B option.
100%. And number three is sponsor risk. So essentially Pepsi, PayPal, a lot of sponsors pulled out when they found out Ye was headlining this event because he is so controversial. And number four is the regulatory risk. So he literally got banned from entering the UK.
What I thought was interesting, Doll, is I did some digging via Instagram and people were very divided. There was also a lot of disappointment about Chris Brown being allowed to do his festival, obviously being a domestic violence convicted felon.
Yeah.
Others called for more local artists and female artists to headline the festival. Weirdly enough, I feel like there were a lot more people in defense for Kanye headlining the event than I thought there would be.
Also didn't have to cancel the event. You could have just gotten someone else.
100%.
The event's in July. You can get someone else. There's meant to be a £30 million loss for cancelling this festival. You're not going to try and get some of that money back.
Yeah, you're not going to try and recoup it or
apparently
try
not.
And get someone else in the mix. There's a lot of hip hop and R&B artists that could easily replace Kanye. Last year, he released a song called Hail Hitler.
Did he?
A few months after a few months after advertising a swatch sticker t-shirt for sale on his website. So, I mean, very recent. In a statement, the rapper, he also said he had been following the conversation around Wireless and offered to meet representatives of the community in person to listen. He said, I know words aren't enough. I'll have to show change through my actions. If you're open, I'm here. He also took a full-page advert out in the Wall Street Journal in January, apologizing for his anti-Semitic behavior and attributing his inflammatory actions to his bipolar disorder. In a statement on Tuesday, he offered a meet and listen to members of the UK Jewish community.
This is really tough because bipolar can do this to some people. And this is what can happen when you go unmedicated.
It's the intersection of mental health and celebrity, right? Moving forward from that as well, he also had a forthcoming concert planned in Marseille, France, and he put out a statement postponing that indefinitely and saying, after much thought and consideration, it's my sole decision to postpone my show in Marseille, France until further notice. He said in a follow-up statement, I know it takes time to understand the sincerity of my commitment to make amends. I take full responsibility for what's mine and I don't want to put my fans in the middle of it. My fans are everything to me. Looking forward to the next show.
From his PR standpoint, I think if he was going to go and do shows again, his team, okay, yeah, he put out an ad in the Wall Street Journal. Most people around the world don't look at the Wall Street
Don't
Journal.
read the Wall Street Journal.
They should have had like a tiered approach
yeah.
on how they're going to get him back on track.
It should have been a whole homecoming campaign. You're so right. He should have donated money, I think, to resources to support the Jewish community. Many, many, many more steps need to be taken. But to look at the other side of the coin, I think this is probably the first time I've seen Kanye apologize, and it seems somewhat sincere.
From the wireless standpoint, though, they shouldn't have put him on as the only headliner. He is known as being not really trustworthy and quite erratic in his behavior.
I think they wanted a moment. They wanted it to be like Ye's comeback, and it was Ye's come down. Another ex that is weaseling his way into the news is Lamar Odom.
And he is a weasel. He's a weasel.
He's a dirty little weasel. And Khloe is dragging him right back. So slay. Lamar has released a doco on Netflix called Untold, The Death and Life of Lamar Odom.
Did you watch it? Oh, it's very interesting. You know, when you watch a documentary about someone, there is a conclusion. And they turned their life around, and they did this. There's like a pivotal moment where you're like, okay, they're not like this anymore, or something's happened, or you're talking about someone who's passed away. So he's alive and he's still doing the same shit he was doing when he was younger.
Oh, so he's still taking drugs and whatever.
At the end of the documentary, he goes, okay, are we done rolling? Great. Do you guys want to go to Vegas? And he gets up. The guy hasn't changed, unfortunately. And
let me tell you, Netflix knows how to play someone. They love to suck people in and make them think they're like doing a documentary for themselves, but that was a play piece.
well, he even said that him and his friends, they just used Khloe because she was famous.
By the way, Doll, did you realize he suffered 12 strokes and 6 heart attacks?
Yeah. And, you know, Khloe found him. So she put him up in an apartment or a house or something that she paid for. After he was found unconscious at a brothel, she walks in on him smoking crack after his 12 strokes.
Doll, I'm going to backpedal. Lamar Odom is a former basketball player, NBA basketball player, and him and Khloe Kardashian were married in 2009 and separated in 2013. Their relationship was featured heavily on Khloe Kardashian's reality TV show Keeping Up with the Kardashians and their own spin-off Khloe and Lamar. They were in the midst of the divorce when he had the overdose, but now Khloe has come out and said she regrets appearing in the Netflix documentary after Odom insinuated she's a liar. Khloe agreed to take part in the doco, which was released on Netflix last month and focused on his career, overdose, and month-long recovery. However, in the weeks since the documentary's release, Odom has disagreed with his former wife's recollection of some of the events. It all stems to Kardashian saying in the documentary that she remembers Lamar's father saying, "Don't put him on life support, turn those machines off." However, Odom refutes this, saying, "If you know Joe Odom, I don't think that's something that would ever come out of his mouth. He was my biggest fan." And then Odom attributes his survival to God and divine intervention and not the care that Khloe Kardashian provided.
In the documentary, they talk about they had to get bodyguards for the hospital because people would come in and they would be his drug dealers looking for money.
Oh my gosh.
It's really upsetting. The whole documentary was like, oh, so you're a liar to your children, because his children were on the documentary too, being like, we'd be there knocking on the door and he knew we were outside and he wasn't answering. This documentary makes him look incredibly fame hungry, putting a lot of people to the side to just get in front of the camera.
Push his own career.
Should we talk about Alix v. Alix?
Let's talk about the Alix. Have you seen how people are merging? They're making it ALIEX.
Okay, well, let's talk about the Alix drama featuring Alex Cooper from from Call Her Daddy, and also Alix Earle. She's a very popular TikToker. She pretty much rose to fame in 2020. She went to University of Miami, and a lot of her videos gained traction from her Get Ready With Me sort of content and like going out. She had a very fast lifestyle. Her family is also very rich, so she would go on a lot of private planes and yachts, and she had a very interesting life, but she also at the same time seemed very down to earth, which is why a lot of people were attracted to her, right?
And for audience context as well, I know obviously Alex Cooper and Call Her Daddy, but I wouldn't say I'm a fan by any means. And I never really watched Alix Earle. I wasn't on the Alix Earle train.
So Alex Cooper has a podcast and then a podcast network called Unwell. Unwell was starting to poach different influencers to create different types of podcasts. One of those people was Alix Earle. Usually you would get smaller influencers that were on the comeuppance onto the network. I actually don't know why they chose Alix Earle, because she was so big that she could actually probably launch her own podcast and own production. She was at that point when she went onto the Unwell network. There has been a lot of drama and it's very fast moving. And a lot of this drama is centered around Alix Earle leaving Alex Cooper's Unwell network and what happened between them for her to leave. And also Alex is doing a lot of liking and reposting of TikToks that are shit canning Alex Cooper.
Yeah, they're
and so
shady boots, right?
Yeah, so Alex Cooper comes onto TikTok. So let's have a look at what she has to say.
Hey guys. You guys know I don't usually address this kind of stuff because it feels like a waste of time, and honestly, it's embarrassing to participate in this. But I am obviously seeing the videos, I'm getting tagged, I see the DMs, I see the comments. So at this point, it just feels long overdue. Alix Earle, hey girl. The passive aggressive reposts and the likes and the commenting on things, I gotta call you out here. You're gonna need to get specific and just say what you gotta say about me. There's no NDA. No one is stopping you. Stop hiding behind other people and just say it yourself. What's the beef? Because I'm really tired of waking up and seeing you using this fake drama to distract from other shit going online for you. Not interested. I know what happened, and so do you. So talk. Unless the fake narrative that you're creating happens to be way more interesting than the truth. I have nothing to hide when it comes to you and me. So unless you actually have something to say, I'm out. This is over. Have a good Monday, everyone.
So Alix Earle does a response to it. She's at Coachella at the time of this post. Her friends video her hungover in bed being like, hey, you have to watch this video. Alex Cooper's done a video on you.
Can I say, seeing her hungover gave me so much partying PTSD. Never want to be in that position again.
But it also gives a level of relatability.
Oh, 100%, 100%. Mama had a big night. Go off.
Looking at that Alix Earle video, that did make me think that it was potentially a PR stunt, because Alex Cooper usually does a video on the Monday before her next podcast to sort of amp up the podcast that she's about to launch. She didn't do one that day. She posted that video response that day. So that made me think, okay, maybe it's a PR stunt. But then a lot of people like David Portnoy, who he created Barstool Entertainment, which is where Alex Cooper and Sophia Franklin, she was a part of Call Her Daddy originally. And then they parted ways, which, look, it's too long to get into. But they were on Barstool. Alex Cooper and Dave Portnoy know each other really well. Alix Earle and Dave Portnoy know each other really well. David Portnoy chimes in and is essentially like, it's because they have the same PR manager. So Alex Cooper and Alix Earle, they have the same PR agent, Kate Bailey. And a lot of people are assuming that a lot of this tension is coming from the fact that they have the same manager. Dave Portnoy is sort of nodding to this. It's a little bit messy, but we actually don't know the real reason why they're beefing. Alix Earle writes on Alex Cooper's post, on it, capitals, on it, exclamation point. So I'm very keen to see her video, but she hasn't said anything.
But girl, you're clearly not that on it because
She's having fun at
it's been
Coachella.
3 days. Yeah,
Well,
she's
you
having
know
fun at
what?
Coachella.
I reckon that's kind of almost a bit of a thing to be like, I was having fun. I'll reply when
Yeah.
I get there. Like,
I'll reply when I'm ready. Yeah.
but also
Like-
a lot of people are saying, well, Alex Cooper, you're saying, well, just say it. Just say it. It was like, why don't you just say it?
Well, I think what she's saying, I think what Alex Cooper is saying is, I don't know what the problem is, so I need you to tell me. That's what I got from that message.
I hate to say it. I reckon people are trying to come for Alex Cooper and bring her down. You know, we've got Sophia Franklin, who used to be a part of Call Her Daddy. She's coming out with a book called Daddy Issues at the end of the year. And I reckon with that book, with Alex Earle as well, there's going to be a bit of a reckoning for Alex Cooper.
Doll, should we talk about the confessional for this week?
Oh, yes.
So in case anyone forgot, this week's confessional is a time you got caught doing something you shouldn't. Let me tell you my story, Doll. I was 17, year 12, and we were on a very wholesome art excursion. Sketchbooks out, pretending to be cultured, going to the Art Gallery of New South Wales. But me and a few friends, we had some other plans. At some point during the day, we fully pretended to get lost. We just kind of drifted off and we're like, oh no, where'd the group go? We went and hid in the bathrooms, right? That was where we initially broke off from everyone. And instead of finding them, we ended up roaming the streets of Darlinghurst. Because we had zero survival instincts, we stood outside a bottle-o and we went and got alcohol. I know. Naughty, underage. Can I say, Doll? Darlinghurst? Anyone else owe you some grog? So we were 17, lost, a little bit tipsy-poo, and it was very much giving a coming-of-age movie. Hours later, we casually meet back up with the group like nothing happened. No one questions it. The teacher was a bit like, where'd you guys go? But wasn't too concerned about it, to be really honest. And we were thinking, babe, we've gotten away with this. Anyway, a snitch in our cohort decided to snitch on us, told our art teacher that we'd been drinking. So we all get an afternoon detention. I know. But can I say, Doll, and I thought about it in hindsight, surely that's a suspendable offence.
Oh,
I'm like, I can't believe we only got Arvo detentions for that. Yeah.
My cousin went to Perisher on a school trip and she got caught drinking and she had to go home and she got suspended.
What's your story, Doll?
Okay, Joel, this one I'm not proud of. I was seeing this guy and I wanted to check if maybe he was seeing anyone else. So I don't know if it's still a thing, but you can text people anonymously about STDs and if they need to get checked.
Stop. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I texted him, you have come into contact with chlamydia. You need to get checked. Thinking, okay, he's going to tell me if he's seeing anyone else. I was certain he was going to say he was seeing other people and being like, hey, I think you might need to get checked or something. He comes back to me pretty much straight away being like, Ali, do you have chlamydia? And I was like, wait, how did you know it was me?
Why'd you say, how'd you know it was me?
He was like, you're the only one I'm seeing. And I was like, oh, well, I don't. I was checking if you was seeing anyone.
Girl, you're crazy. You're crazy.
I know.
That's giving single white female.
Well, I was at the time.
Well, do we have a little confessional from you guys today?
Ooh.
Let me launch into it. Hi in the vault. I have a confession and I still cringe every time I think about it. So when I was 19, I got a casual retail job at a shopping center and pretty quick I realized no one was really paying attention. No one was double checking hours. It was all very trust-based. One day I finished my shift and didn't clock out. The next day I noticed I was still technically clocked in and instead of fixing it, I just left it and it kind of spiraled. I started coming in, clocking in properly, doing maybe an hour or two of actual work and then disappearing into the shopping center. This is so funny. I'd get food, go shopping, sit at the food court. Once I literally watched a movie mid-shift. Can I say, Doll, I used to work at the entertainment counter at Target. Shout out to Target East Gardens. And the best thing about it was there were like 4 screens above the entertainment counter and there'd always be a movie on. I reckon I've watched Frozen about 85 times in my life.
So did they work on a pad? Because I used to work at Sheridan, 2IC, second in charge. At David Jones, I would take like 2-3 hour breaks. Because I would be the only one on my pad. But I knew that people could look after my pad if I wasn't there. But if you work in just a store, I'm sure the person that's also working there, you wouldn't be able to do that.
I was getting paid for all of it. This went on for like 3 weeks. In my head, I convinced myself it was fine because no one said anything, which is actually insane looking back. Anyway, of course I got caught. Payroll flagged it because I was logging full-time, sometimes overtime hours as a casual with zero actual output.
They're probably like, you're making no sales.
I came in for a shift one day, clocked in like normal, and immediately got called into the office. HR was there, my manager was there, and they all had my hours printed out. I panicked so badly, and instead of just owning it, I said I thought I could stay clocked in if I was still in the center. Like, why would you say that? That's some tomfoolery. I mean, they were 19. They were 19 babies. Even typing that makes me want to pass away. I got fired on the spot, and I'm pretty sure I'm blacklisted from the entire retail group. Oh my God. Love the podcast. Please don't drag me too hard.
I would never drag you because you know why?
Never.
I've done crap like that when I worked in retail. Like,
Oh, doll.
I worked at this one place where we got amazing discounts, but you had to buy everything online if you wanted that discount. People would come in though, and anyone who was really hot, I would give them my logins and be like, you can get it 70% off.
Oh,
And they're like, oh,
that's
thanks.
so naughty.
I know. And it's also like, I never saw them again. So why was I giving them my
70%
discount?
These are unhinged things users got caught doing on Reddit.
This guy says, my mum walked in on me pleasuring myself. I panicked and pretended I was doing sit-ups instead. She says, with your pants off?
When I was so drunk one night, I tried to go to the bathroom but ended up in the laundry room, pissing in my cat's litter box. My dad saw me from the living room and asked what I was doing. I turned around, still pissing, and said, I'm taking a piss, then turned back around and finished.
That's disgusting. I was watching porn on my phone. It randomly connected to my dad's Bluetooth speaker downstairs.
I dropped a cinnamon bite on the floor and put it in the box and served it to a customer. One of the drivers saw me and said nothing.
Practice saying hey in the mirror before going out. My brother saw me and just said, it's not going to work.
Being a young teen and downloading the movie XXX, brackets, not with Vin Diesel, on my family computer off of LimeWire. Wouldn't necessarily call it something bad, but I definitely got caught.
Oh no.
So obviously thought it was the Triple X movie with Vin Diesel. Have you seen that movie? I haven't.
No, but I can see how that could be a kerfuffle.
Yeah, I can see the mix up. That's a wrap, guys. Thank you so much for joining us again this week. Okay, so next week we're going to do biggest beauty faux pas.
We all have them.
We've all had them. I have a hideous story that I can't wait to share with you. It's actually like quite traumatic for me. We will see you next week with your beauty faux pas. Have a good day/night. Mwah.